Hey you guys, this video is gonna be an update about what's been going on, I guess, these past few days. I really don't know how to start this video or where to start, or I mean this video is gonna be everywhere, but we lost our baby Aiden. We lost Aiden this past Thursday, June 30th, 2011. He was stillborn. And so, like I said, this video is going to be an update on our hospital journey and everything that happened and the whole process, and just everything as much as I can get out for now, just to update you guys. This video will be everywhere, so please forgive me for that, because like it's just I have no way of organizing it. I may start rambling on. I really just, yeah. So right now I'll tell you guys about the hospital journey, everything that happened, basically from beginning to end. So this past Wednesday, the 29th, at maybe like 10:30, 11 o'clock, I started to get like stomach cramps, but it wasn't so much stomach cramps. It felt like intestinal cramps. So I thought I was cramping from being constipated. So I I was constantly going to the bathroom to try to relieve myself from constipation. And so I had those pains, and like I said, like it did not feel like stomach pain at all. It just felt like, constipation. So I was constantly going to the bathroom, and the pain never went away. Like I was constantly going and going and going, and that cramp, it was just like in a one area kind of, it just never went away. And so throughout the night, I would constantly go back to bed, and then I would just toss and turn, and I never was able to actually fall asleep. Like I just tossed and turned for hours, literally, and I couldn't get comfortable to go to sleep. So I would go back to the bathroom. I would use the bathroom. I'd come back and still wouldn't be able to fall asleep, and that pain wouldn't go away. And so, like, I've had like gas pain and constipation pain before. Like, usually, if you go to the bathroom a few times, it'll clear up, and you won't have that pain anymore. But I still had that pain. So it was about 3 a.m. and I went to the bathroom again, and this is from 11 to 3. I still wasn't able to sleep, still tossing and turning, and I went to the bathroom at about 3 a.m. and I started to throw up. So I was throwing up, and Jordy came in, he helped me clean up or whatever, and then we laid back down, and I tried to go to bed, and at maybe like 3:30, I had to go to the bathroom again, and I still wasn't feeling good. I still couldn't get to sleep, still uncomfortable, and the pain just wasn't clearing up. So I thought maybe I had a urinary tract infection or maybe a kidney infection. And so I told Jordy, like, hey, we need to go to the hospital because I think I have a urinary tract infection, because the pain just wasn't clearing up. So we went to the hospital, and I'll say we maybe got there at maybe 4:30. Maybe roughly 4:30 we got to the hospital, and this was 4:30 a.m. Thursday morning. So we went to the hospital, and I told them my symptoms. We went to the ER. I told them my symptoms and everything that was going on, and they immediately called labor and delivery, and someone from labor and delivery came down to come get me from the ER, and they took me up to labor and delivery. They brought me to an observation room, and they were about to hook me up to the fetal monitors, like the ones where you wrap around your belly. That way it'll track the baby's heartbeat. But before she did that, she had a Doppler to find his heartbeat. And that was when I noticed that she couldn't find his heartbeat. She didn't say anything to me, but we had heard his heartbeat. I knew how the Doppler system worked, where they would put it on and eventually find the baby's heartbeat. So a few minutes passed, and she was still kind of searching. and she didn't say anything to me, but she called in another nurse and a resident to come in, and she called them to come in with an ultrasound machine. So they came in with the ultrasound machine, and they had an ultrasound. I didn't want to look at the screen because I knew something was wrong, so I just turned my head and didn't look. But they didn't say anything. They were all just looking at the screen, and she was, moving it around on my belly. And then they called in for a doctor to come in. So the doctor came in, and he did the same thing. He looked around on the machine and moved around, and then that's when he told me that my placenta had ruptured and separated from my uterus, and the baby didn't have a heartbeat. They had asked Jordy to step out of the room while they hooked me up to the monitors, but no one expected any of this to happen, so he was outside of the room when I found out. But the nurse went and called him in, and he came in, and I didn't really tell him. I was still kind of crying and upset. And he just assumed that something really bad had happened. He could see it kind of in my face, and the room was kind of silent, and he just assumed that something really bad happened. So after that happened, they moved me to another room. They moved me to a labor and delivery room. Or actually, no, before they moved me to a labor and delivery room, my pains were getting worse. Like, that cramping was just getting really, really worse. It hurt to sit down. I could not sit down. I wanted to constantly sit up. And so they gave me an IV. They gave me an IV in each hand. I had one in my right hand, one in my left hand. And in the right hand is where they put the medicine. And so they gave me a whole bunch of medicine, like, immediately, because, like I said, the pains were getting crazy, and I wasn't having contractions. I did not have contractions at all. My body was kind of just like spazzing out, and so I guess in place of contractions, my body was spazzing out for periods of time. So they gave me a lot of medicine to calm me down, and to kind of help with pain. They gave me Pitocin. They gave me Pitocin in the observation room, and that was because I had to deliver the baby. So they gave me Pitocin to speed up the labor process. And the reason they gave me 2 IVs was because I was bleeding. When my placenta detached from my uterus was still trying to provide nutrients. So they because it was trying to still provide nutrients to the placenta that wasn't there, I was bleeding internally. So they gave me another IV because they didn't know whether or not I would need a blood transfusion after labor. So they gave me that just in case. And after that is when they moved me to a labor and delivery room. So during that process, I had Jordy call my mom and our family and his mom and tell everyone, like, we're at the ER, it's not good, that kind of thing. So he called everyone, and I was in the labor and delivery room. At about 6:00 a.m., the anesthesiologist came in and they gave me an epidural. It kind of was just all a really fast process. I didn't ask for anything. They kind of just gave me everything possible because it just wasn't a good situation at all. They thought I would have to have surgery because of the bleeding, but they weren't sure, so they just got me prepared for everything. And so I was on Pitocin, and when I got to the hospital, I was 2 centimeters dilated. So from 6 a.m. to about 11 a.m., I had dilated from 2 centimeters to 4 centimeters. I was still on Pitocin. And then from 11 a.m. to, it was about 11, I'll say it was from 11 a.m. to maybe about 1:30. I had dilated from 4 centimeters to 6. And then at about 3 or so, like about 3 o'clock, I had dilated from 6 centimeters to, they said it was about 8 or 9. So I was getting closer and closer. All of our family had made it in, so they were all there to support me and be with us. And so it was about 8 or 9 centimeters, and the Pitocin had kind of wore off. I mean, the epidural had wore off at about like noontime. So the anesthesiologist was just coming in to give me more medicine through the epidural, because the epidural tube was still in my back. So he would come in and just give me more medicine as needed. And I also had a catheter, which was really uncomfortable. But I had a catheter because I also had a block in my legs with the epidural. So I was like a fall risk. So I couldn't stand up or anything because I would fall. Like my legs were completely numb. So I had a catheter to empty out my urine. So it was about 3 a.m. And like I said, I was about 8 or 9 centimeters. And it was pretty much getting close to time. So I'll say like maybe 4, maybe after 4. It was like maybe 4:30. Between 4:30 and 5, I started to get like really, really intense pressure, and the pain kind of got really, really intense. The medicine had wore off, so I felt everything. The medicine had worn off, but I was in the bed, and I really felt the urge to like push. And so also my midwife was there. She was there to help, but another doctor who was their partner doctor, he was the one who delivered the baby, but my midwife was there to assist and help him out and that kind of thing. But because I became high risk, I had to have a regular doctor who they just assigned to me once I got to the hospital. So the midwife and the nurses were there, so we were just waiting on the doctor to come in. So they were like, no, don't push yet, wait on the doctor. So the pressure of his head was like really intense, and I was just ready to push, because it hurt to like not be able to push and like to kind of like hold it. But they set me up or whatever. They took the bed apart, put the stirrups, and they put my legs on the stirrups, and the doctor came in, and he helped me deliver. It was a pretty easy delivery. I'll say everything was finished within 5 minutes. I had 3 really long, hard pushes, and he was out. And when I say like really long, I mean like instead of like I think 10-second push thing or whatever, I pushed for like maybe 30 seconds or so each, like maybe 30 to 45 seconds each. I pushed, and I didn't want to stop pushing because, like I said, like the pressure of not pushing hurt. So like I just like pushed for as long as I could, and then I would stop, catch a breath, and I pushed again. And I was like I said, like about 3 good pushes, and he was out. The only family member in the room was Jordy, and that was because they didn't know if I would have to be rushed off to surgery or how my bleeding would go or anything like that. So it was just Jordy in the room, and he was holding my hand, and he got to watch the whole thing. He said it was pretty amazing to see him being born. But Jordy watched the whole thing, and the doctor cut his cord because they had to see about how I was doing or whatever, and they gave Aiden to my midwife, and she took him to go get cleaned off while the doctor took care of me. So I delivered the placenta, and the doctor went in, and he kind of like stuck his hand in and like kind of like swept around in my uterus to remove all the blood clots and the extra blood and everything like that. Oh, they also burst my water, and I think that was at 12. I think at noontime when I was 4 centimeters is when they burst my water. I think so. I think that's when they did that. So at about noontime, they burst my water, just to help aid the process of things going on. So but yeah, so the doctor, he swept around and kind of like got all the blood clots out, and luckily my body didn't continue to bleed. So I didn't have to get rushed off to surgery. I didn't continue to bleed. But I did develop anemia from the blood loss. But yeah, and so I didn't bleed. I didn't have surgery. I didn't have any tears. I didn't have to get an episiotomy. That kind of, I think that's all about the whole birth process. Okay, and so he was born at 5:32 p.m. He was born at 5:32 p.m. And after they cleaned me up, they gave Jordan and I the baby. They gave us Aiden, and they let us have time to ourselves. And our family kind of was just waiting outside the door, but they let us have time by ourselves with him before we called our family in to, come in and see him and stuff. But as far as up until the birth process, I'm pretty sure that's it about everything that happened up until then. So Jordy and I had Aiden, and we held him and took pictures with him, and we just comforted each other, and hugged each other, kissed each other, hugged Aiden and kissed him and held him and that sort of thing. And then we called our family in, and they came in, and we just all kind of comforted each other. And so pretty much that was it. I was able to use the bathroom on my own, without the catheter and stuff. So that was pretty good. And so we had the baby with us, and we were able to keep him overnight, which I am so grateful for that. Like, even though he was, forever sleeping, we were able to keep him overnight in the little baby bed, and that just made me feel like so much better just to have that time with him. Like, I am so grateful we had like that time to spend with him. And Jordy and I, we stayed together overnight. Jordy stayed with me overnight. I hadn't been able to eat either. I was on like complete like food and drink restriction because they didn't know if I would have to have surgery. So from like basically I hadn't eaten since dinner time Wednesday night. So I was like really hungry. So my mom went and got us some food, and she brought it back, and so Jordy and I were able to eat. And so that night we just stayed together, and we just kind of hung out, Jordy and I. I was in my bed, and he was on like this little chair that converted into like a really comfortable bed. So and like I said, we had Aiden, and just we held him and hugged him and took pictures. We took lots and lots of pictures. But it's just like those memories of like having him and seeing him and touching him. Those are just like so amazing, and I will cherish that forever. Like, just being able to do that stuff. And so the next morning, actually it was going to be Thursday that our nurse was going to take him to take pictures in the nursery, but they couldn't find the camera. So the next day they were going to take him to take pictures. So the nurse came in, and my mom had come back also, and she brought us some toothpaste and toothbrush and clothes, and she bought some underwear and just things for us because we brought nothing with us to the hospital. Like I said, I thought it was like maybe a kidney infection, and they asked me, did I think I was in labor? And I told them I am 100% sure I am not in labor, because I had not received a single contraction. Even through the pushing process, I had not received a single contraction. So it's just, we didn't expect to stay in the hospital. So we had nothing. My mom brought us some stuff, and he had passed some stool and some urine, just, that was in his body and probably would have come out at whatever point in time. He had passed that, So I asked the nurse for a diaper and some wipes so I could change him because I didn't want him to have to sit in his own stool. So the nurse offered to do it, but I wanted to do it just so I could like change his diaper. Um, and so I was able to change his diaper and, just wipe him down and clean him up and stuff. So we put his little diaper on him, and we also there's volunteers that like donate things to the hospital for, I guess, preemies and parents who have stillborns and that sort of thing. And so they gave us a bear that had an outfit on it. And so I took that outfit off the bear and put it on Aiden, and it fit him perfectly. So we put that outfit on him so he could take his pictures. And I'll show you guys that stuff in a bit. But we put that on him so he could take his pictures. And so the nurse came in and they set up everything for pictures in the room with us. That way we wouldn't have to take him to the nursery. So we took his pictures, and we were able to keep him with us up until the point in time when I left. They discharged me from the hospital at about 3 p.m. or maybe 3:30ish on Friday. So we gave Aiden to the nurses so they could take him to the morgue, and we're going to have a private funeral service. So our funeral home is going to get in touch with the hospital to receive his body. That way they can take care of him for the funeral. We haven't talked to the funeral home yet because it is the 4th of July weekend. And so they're closed this weekend, and they're also closed tomorrow, which is 4th of July. So the earliest we'll get to meet with them is this Tuesday to just arrange his services and everything. So I'm pretty sure that's everything about the whole hospital from start to finish. They sent me home on medicines. They sent me home with some Percocet because I had an epidural. So the pain in my back has been really, really painful. Like, I have no vaginal pain, no anything. It's the pain from the epidural, and it is just ridiculous. Like, it hurts so bad. So they sent me home on really, really strong pain medicine, and I'm on that. I also use some heating pads to help with the pain in my back. And also I bought some Epsom salt, and so I like today was the first time I did it, but I just took a nice warm soak in the bathtub just to help with my back pain. They also gave me some iron medicine because I had a lot of blood loss, so I developed anemia. So they sent me with some iron medicine and also some antibiotics. I had developed an infection right before I gave birth, like maybe about 2 hours or so before it was time to actually have him. Um, they discovered that I developed an infection, and I started to get fever and that sort of thing. So the infection was supposed to pass when I had the baby, but like not that long after I developed fever again. So I just had fever like throughout the night and stuff. So they sent me home on antibiotics just to help battle the infection. Um, so what's helping me cope right now is to see his pictures. We took a lot of pictures, and like the pictures for me, like they don't make me sad at all. They make me so happy to see like his beautiful face and to remember his nose and his beautiful fingers, and like I love seeing his pictures. So throughout the night I'll look at them, or either on my computer, or we have some prints, and I'll look at the prints, or we have one of his pictures framed right by the bed. So I have like a lot of pictures. So like just looking at his pictures just makes me smile and makes me so happy. And also I have the outfit that we put on him for his pictures, and I put it on a teddy bear that they gave us. And so I've been sleeping with the teddy bear because it smells like him, the outfit that we put on him. So like just to smell it and just to remember his sweet little smell, like that makes me feel better also. So I've been sleeping with his teddy bear. I don't really want to make it like an ongoing process, like I don't want to get attached to his teddy bear to the point where I can't sleep without it, but that has really been able to help me cope, is to smell his teddy bear and just to rub his clothes and smell his clothes, and that sort of thing. So I will continue to make videos on this channel. I will definitely continue to make videos. I will share everything that I possibly can think of. My postpartum journey, in the future, us trying to conceive. I cannot tell you right now when we will try to conceive again, but right now we aren't trying to replace our son, but it will happen within the future. So just that journey, our grieving process, the burial process, I will continue to share our journey through all of this. And so I will definitely continue to make videos and updates. Another thing, I am like so glad that I made this channel, because like I said, when I first made it, I want to be able to look back at my pregnancy, and I want to look back at my journey. And if I didn't start this channel, I wouldn't have these video updates and like everything that has happened so far. Like, so I am so glad that I have this channel and I can look back at my amazing journey and like just my easy pregnancy, and like it's amazing. So I'm really grateful that I made this channel, and also just to be able to talk to you guys. Like, it is so much easier for me to talk and communicate to you guys than it is like our family and just people around me. Like, it's just easier for me to open up. So I'm glad I have that also. So yesterday we went and brought some new bras. I hadn't yet brought any nursing bras or anything, but my breasts grew 2 sizes larger, and I'm unable to breastfeed, so I kind of just have to let them go down on their own. But I needed new bras because none of them fit, so we went and I got fitted for new bras, and like I said, they're 2 sizes larger. So yeah, so I have new bras, and also like the breast pain, it's I don't know, it kind of depends. Like, I'm a stomach sleeper. So I've been sleeping on my stomach again, back on my stomach. But when I wake up, my breasts hurt. And sometimes, like, if I move a certain way or if you touch them, they hurt. But as far as just hurting throughout the day, they don't really hurt. My milk has come in. They were leaking night before last. Yeah, night before last, they were leaking. So my milk has come in. They're really, really heavy. They are super heavy. And they actually seem like they've gotten bigger since yesterday. So that's pretty interesting. But I'm going to show you guys his things that we have and the things that we have so far. We have a lot more things, and everything's just kind of everywhere. But for now, I'll just show you the things that I kind of have like right now, right here. And I'll continue to make updates. I don't know when the next one will be, but I will make more. I have a lot more things to share and show you guys and that sort of thing. So I'll show you guys his stuff. And I have some pictures that the hospital took and print out for me, but I also have like so many more pictures from my camera. So I'm also going to make a video with his pictures on it. Not tonight, but I will make a video with his pictures on it so you guys can see like how beautiful he was, because he was just so beautiful. Like, I love my son. He's amazing. But so I'll show you guys the things that I have right now. So these are some pictures from the hospital. This is one of his pictures, and you can see his little passy in his mouth. And here's another picture. And you can see on his little hands, you can see like his skin. Well, what happened was, because he was sitting in my amniotic fluids for so long, it started to kind of eat away at his skin, because his skin was like thin, but because he sat in it for so long, it started to eat away at his skin. It's kind of like if you sit in the bathtub for so long, your skin gets kind of like crinkly and funny. Well, that's kind of the same that happened to him, but because his skin was so thin, it kind of just ate away at his skin. And also my placenta rupturing, they said it was unexplained. Like, for some people, it can be explained through if you've gotten in a car accident, if you've fallen, if you smoke or drink or abuse drugs or that sort of thing. But because none of those things apply to me, it was just, I was one of those cases where it just happens unexplained. So, yeah, but here's some more pictures. And there he is in his little outfit. And like, he was super long. He was 2 pounds, 10 ounces, and 15 inches long. So he was a really long baby. And this is another one of his little feet, his little toesies. And so this is the bear that the hospital gave us, and the one that I sleep with. And so this is the little bonnet that he had on, and this is the little outfit that he had on, and it fit him like perfectly. It's, you can't really tell, but the outfit is blue, and it has like lace on the little arms and on the like neckline. There's some lace, and then it's embroidered down here with a little horsey on it, and there's some like stitching down on the bottom. I think you can maybe see the color of it. No, not really, but it's a blue outfit with a little blue bonnet. So those are his bear. Oh, and I put the tag on, his little baby tag on there. And it's on the exact same leg that Aiden's tag is on. So I have that. He had a head full of hair, so we were able to get some snippets of hair. If I can, there we go. So you can see the little hair snippets in there that we were able to get from his little head. For his funeral, I have another outfit that's the exact same one that the bear has on, but I didn't want to give up the one that he wore because like I said, that one smells like him, and it comforts me to just like remember his little smell. So I have one, the exact same outfit. Here it is right here. And this is the one that we're going to bury him in. So we're going to give it to the funeral home to dress him in for his funeral. And I don't know which hat I'm going to put on him yet. This is his hospital hat, and this is another one that was given to us. But I haven't tried this one on yet. I want him to be buried in this one, but I'm afraid it may be too big. So if not, then I'll have him wear this one on his little head. And also his footprints. They gave us his little footprints. There they are. And also, I have his little passy. This is his passy that he sucked on. He had some dried up blood around his mouth, so we just preferred that he had his little passy because like it made him look so much more at peace when his passy was in rather than with the dried up blood on his mouth. So here's his passy that he was able to have, his cute little purple passy. And also this is the picture that sits by our bed. We bought this frame from Michael's yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. But we bought this frame from Michael's. It's a really beautiful frame. And we have his picture in there. And that is like my favorite picture of him because he's just like, he looks so at peace and he's just so beautiful. I love him so much. But yeah, so yeah, that's everything that I can think of to share with you guys. Like I said, I will continue to make updates. And I definitely have a lot more things to show you guys, to talk about, that sort of thing. But for now, I just want to let you guys know what's been happening and that we lost our sweet angel. And he was so beautiful, you guys. Like, I cannot say it enough. Like, he was so beautiful. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone for their support. Just in supporting our family and our journey and our YouTube and everything. So I just want to thank everyone. And I will keep in touch with you guys. Like I said, I will continue to make videos, so don't worry about that. I will definitely continue to update. But yeah, so I just want to thank everyone again, and I'll see you guys for the next update. So bye.